Y'all, we're making mug cakes. Again! Come on! Welcome to Highfalutin Low Carb, the almost weekly web series where we find and test the best low carb recipes this crazy internet has to offer. Today, for the second time, we're tackling low carb mug cakes. Stay tuned. All right guys, low carb mug cakes. I told you in my last video that we're gonna be taking a look at some of the older videos that I did way back when I first started my channel because so much has changed in the world of keto and low carb. So today, for the second time, we are rewinding the internet all the way back to the early days of 2017, which is an eternity in internet time, where I first did a mug cake battle, and some of those were not great options. So today, we're gonna test 3 new options. The first of those is by Jennifer Banz, and it is Keto Mug Cake, and we're going to do the chocolate version of that. The second one, because so many people talk about the eggy taste, is Keto Mug Cake No Egg, and this is by sweetashoney.co. And lastly, I wanted to do a fruit version because I didn't in my first one, except the carrot cake, and that is Keto Berry Mug Cake, and it is by Keto Diet App. But before we begin, I need to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Hungry Root. Hungry Root is a tech-enabled grocery service with deliveries right to your door that's personalized to your lifestyle and tastes. You begin by going to the Hungry Root website and taking a short, fun quiz letting them know what you eat, what you like to eat, what your goals are. Do you want to eat more plants? Do you want to eat more protein? Do you want to eat more fat? And then also what your family eats. And Hungry Root automatically creates a pre-filled grocery cart with weekly deliveries to your door and recipes that take about 10 minutes to prepare. Now you can also jump into the website and edit your cart, view what's coming next, and change those to your desire, what you like. I really have appreciated this service, especially for people like our household that have multiple goals or multiple eating plans going on. I eat keto or low carb most of the time, my spouse may not. And so this allows you, if you have other people in the household who have other things that may not directly align with your goal, you can feed the whole troop and still get a refrigerator full of healthy groceries and a weekly meal plan for you. So right now, the first 100 people who use my code Highfalutin will get 40% off their first grocery order with Hungry Root. So be sure to go to the show notes below, the video description below, and use the link provided there, or just go to hungryroot.com and use my code Highfalutin to get 40% off of your first order. So thank you, Hungry Root, for sponsoring this video. It's sponsorships like yours that keep channels like mine on the air, and for that I am truly appreciative, and the food ain't bad either. All right guys, let's go make some mug cakes. Come on. All right guys, so let's tackle our first recipe. Again, this is the Keto Mug Cake. We're gonna do the chocolate version, and this is by JenniferBanz.com. You probably know her as Low Carb by Jennifer on Facebook, and been following her for a long time. She has some great recipes, and this has got like hundreds and hundreds of positive reviews. Now, let's go back to 2017, and I said some ugly things about mug cakes at the time, and well, you see.
The other issue is it takes just as much ingredients. You still got to haul out the sugar, the flour, the eggs, the butter, the sour cream, the sweetener, the blah, 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 blah. You still got to haul all that mess out, but instead of using a cup of each, you're using about a tablespoon of each. So it's just as much work to just prep all this mess, but the end result is that you're not left with an entire cake for Wesley to eat on the entire night and wake up in the middle of the night and eat it. I'll be honest with you, that's a struggle for me. That is possibly the worst thing I've ever made on camera. In any of these videos, that is terrible. So in other words, what I'm trying to tell you, unless this thing tastes like gold in a bowl, the Queen of England would have to be coming here to eat before I would do this again. All right, yeah, so I may have said some
things that I didn't mean, and I did say some things that I did mean, but how have things changed now 5 years later? This recipe comes to us from Jennifer Banz, Low Carb with Jennifer. This is her chocolate version. I'm going to make this now, and we're going to test it and see what we think about it and if things have changed considerably. Guys, if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. You know I don't give exact measurements for these recipes. I'm just here to test them. The people that did create the recipes, they deserve the traffic, and so I'm going to ask you to go to their link down here on the screen. It'll also be in the video description below. So we're going to start this with some butter. This is a tablespoon of butter, and we're going to melt this in the microwave. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be right back, okay? Okay, so we've got our butter melted, and this is just in a ramekin. You can do it in a mug or whatever you're cooking in. And to this now, we're going to add our dry ingredients. First of all, she gives you options for coconut and almond flour, and I really like that. I'm going to go with the almond flour. Again, if you want to know exactly how much, you know where to find the recipe. It's down below. Also, we're going to add in granulated sweetener. I'm going to use a granulated erythritol because that's what the recipe called for, and that's what we're testing here. But I do think you could easily swap this out for allulose or some of the newer sweeteners that are on the market that a lot of people are using, like Bocha Sweet and some other things. To this, we're also going to add in cocoa powder. This is the chocolate version. This recipe also has options for vanilla and peanut butter. Also, a little bit of baking powder. This is how we're going to get some lift. And lastly, a beaten egg. Beat it before you add it in. And now, in this goes. You can mix it right in the ramekin. That's the easy part of this. Now you do have to, like I said before, you've got, gosh, Wesley, look at me. I've already thrown it out. Y'all, maybe in something with a little more. I'm going to have to come back and do this in a different ramekin. Watch this. Why is cocoa powder so hard to mix in? Well, we've got some of it left. As you see, in 5 years, I've got no better at cooking. Darn. Okay, I'm just going to clean the sides up just a little bit so that half of our batter ain't outside of the tub. And then this goes in the microwave, like you know. Oh, y'all, chocolate chips. These were optional, but we sure gonna add them. She said just put them on top. Okay. In the microwave, 60 seconds. It says do not overcook it because it becomes dry. So I'm going to do that now, and in 60 seconds, I'm going to wipe this mess up that I just made, and we're going to taste this. All right, see you in just a second. All right, guys, so we're back with, this is Jennifer's Keto Mug Cake, and it made a mess, crawled out, which I knew, to be honest with you, I probably haven't made a mug cake since I filmed that video in 2017. It's just not something that I do a lot. But if you are somebody who wants to know exactly, wants a small snack that's in a single serving and wants to know exactly what's in it, mug cakes are kind of the way to go. But maybe put it in a taller ramekin. But it looks beautiful. It held up well. It has, it's fairly sturdy. I'm not going to try to take it out, but I am going to go ahead and taste it. And wow, texture's nice. It's almost like a steamed pudding or something. Okay, yeah, whoa, and it is hot, but it's hard to deny that doesn't look absolutely beautiful, but it looks hot as a firecracker. Okay, this is the kind of thing you gotta eat while it's warm. You're not gonna pre-make these. This is let it cool for 60 seconds after it comes out of the microwave and down the hatch. All right, let's see what it's like. So fudgy. Y'all, that's not bad. I think with allulose, even better. Okay, guys, I gotta say, this wasn't a whole lot different than some of the first ones I tried. And I do definitely get the cooling, tingling sensation from the erythritol. I'm definitely going to be making this with some allulose and seeing how that works out. I might have to add a little more allulose because it's slightly less sweet than sugar, but good stuff. If you're looking for the nutrition on this, one of these without the chocolate chips. The chocolate chips are optional. I use the Lily's unsweetened baking chocolate. Now, so one of these is 312 calories. You've got 28 grams of fat. You've got 7 carbs. You've got 4 grams of fiber. That's 3 grams of net carbs and 12 grams of protein. So that's pretty respectable. So Jennifer Banz, yum yum. You guys try this one. All right, I want to try next one. See you right back. All right, guys, we're back for our second recipe. I should probably let you know that I ate about half of that other one while I was getting this one ready, so it was pretty good. All right, this is Keto Mug Cake No Egg. One of the main complaints about this mug cake situation is that there's always too much of an eggy flavor, a situation I've also spoken about not liking. So this is going to use some peanut butter, natural peanut butter in place of the egg. So this is Keto Mug Cake No Egg by sweetashoney.co. Again, all the links are down here on the screen and in the video description below. And this is going to go quickly. This whole video is going to go quickly compared to some of my others because this stuff is fast. All right, so what we're going to do is start with a little bit of peanut butter, and we're going to add some unsweetened almond milk to this. And I'm going to put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds just to get this soft, and so we can combine these two together. So hold on. Okay, we've got some warmed up milk and peanut butter. We're going to attack that in just a second. First, we need to do the dry ingredients. Again, this is going to be almond flour. If you want to know how much, you know where to find it. Go check her out. This is going to be a granulated sweetener. Now, this recipe makes 2 servings. It makes 2 mug cakes, which must be cooked separately, can't be cooked together. But when you try to divide the recipe in half, it makes some odd measurement, so I just made this, and you can freeze what's left over, or refrigerate what's left over of the batter. This is our cocoa powder, and a little bit of baking powder. Again, provides our lift, especially without that egg. We're going to need something. Get this going. Normally I'd say sift your almond flour, but honestly there's just so little of it here. Ain't a whole lot to sift. So I think we're pretty safe. We could break up whatever we needed to with our hands. To our liquid ingredients, we're going to add a little bit of vanilla, which I forgot to put in that last recipe. I don't know if you caught that, but if you did, you got eagle eyes. But it was good even without the vanilla, as evidenced by the fact that half of it is now gone. So I'm going to mix this. So we've got to get this combined pretty well before we drop it in. So that peanut butter, I would imagine, is helping to act like the egg, provide some moisture, substance, but it can't provide lift. So I'm curious how this is going to turn out. Now, I also am going to add in the chocolate chips. It calls for a little bit of chocolate chips. They're optional, but because I put it in the last recipe, it's only fair to do it in these. And now we're going to combine this until it's a thick batter, and it's easier to do. I do like being able to mix it in the mug, but you saw what happened last time. Use a taller mug than I did. Okay, get out of there now. Oh, we got chocolate chips stuck in our whisk. Nothing worse than that. Okay, so we've got our ramekin, and remember we're only using half of this. This is 2 recipes, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here and roughly scoop in only half of this. And I've already used some coconut oil spray. You want to make sure you oil this. It's probably not a dump it out of the ramekin type of cake like some of the others were in my first video. And honestly, when you're making a mug cake, presentation really doesn't mean a lot because you're probably about to crawl into the sofa and get under a blanket and eat this thing. So, all right, I'm going to put this in the microwave for 60 to 90 seconds and right back here, and we're going to try this one too with no egg. See you in just a bit. All right, guys, so we are back. This guy didn't climb out of the nearly as tall as the other one, which is, that's why you kind of really do need the egg, but we're going to find out. And I'm really, while I was microwaving this, was going over the macros, and I'm kind of shocked by this. So while that's cooling down, this makes 2, right? One of these, which is this serving here, is 113 calories, y'all. That's really good. 113 calories. You got 9.1 grams of fat. You've got 5.1 grams of protein. You've got 6.4 grams of total carbs, 2.7 grams of fiber, which makes it about 3.7 grams of net carbs. So, and I believe that is without the chocolate chips as well. So, what does the egg provide? Certainly provided a lot of lift. Does it provide flavor? Let's see. Nice texture. Oh, it doesn't hold together nearly as well as that other cake, but it does smell good. It is hot, boy. It is hot. Smells good. Definitely smells peanut buttery. I think I'm brave enough. Let's see. Okay, this wasn't bad. It is not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination. The other one was much better. This sort of crumbles. It's not a texture of cake, but it's not a texture of pudding, or I don't know. It's an unusual texture. I preferred it with the egg. However, it's hard to deny that that is 113 calories versus the others that are upwards and over 300. So, you know, does this hit your sweet spot? Does this solve your cravings without going into the high calories of the other one? Then maybe that's worth a try. Somebody try this and let me know what you think about it. All right, let's go on to our last recipe, number 3. See you in a bit. All right, guys, we are back for our last and final recipe, and I told you this video was going to go fast. All right, this is the Keto Berry Mug Cake by KetoDietApp.com by Martina over there. And so this has actually almond flour and coconut flour both. It doesn't have cocoa powder, which of course acts as a flour in and of itself. So I imagine it's using the coconut powder to give this a little bit of body. So I'm going to switch to a larger mug because this is a little bit larger. And then this is going to be our almond flour. Again, if you want to know how much, just go to the website at the bottom of the screen. This is the coconut flour. We're just putting our dry ingredients all into the pool first. This is a little bit, very little bit of baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. We've got our granulated erythritol. Again, I've used that. Probably can use allulose. Okay, we've got our dry ingredients. Let's just make sure those are well mixed. And now we're going to add in a few liquid ingredients. We've got our melted butter. You can use coconut oil or butter. 3 to 5 drops of liquid stevia. I'm just going to put 4 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 sweeteners, counteract some of the differences in the sweetener after effects. This is some vanilla extract. Quite a bit of that in here, but there's not a lot of chocolate flavor or anything like that. And then lastly, the egg. I'm just going to break it up a little bit before we throw it in there. Now, give this all good mix, mix, mix. Get out of the way. And you probably can't even see down in there. And now we're going to add in a few berries to the top. She said fresh or frozen. I'm just using some blueberries that were frozen. You guys know I love frozen berries on hand. So I'm just going to do that. Try to leave out some of that juice because I don't want to get the cake too moist. Now, 60 to 90 seconds, and I will meet you right back here for the final tasting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, we're back to test our final recipe. This guy almost climbed out of the mug. I'm going to try to lift it out of here just so you can maybe see. Now, I didn't grease this. I didn't oil this in any way. So let's just see what happens if we try to take this little guy out. Oh, he comes out. Huh. Okay. A little bit of burn action in the bottom. Definitely smells of egg in here. And look at that. Whoa, it is hot, but it is tall and beautiful. Well, it looks a little wet. Let's see if we can flip him over. Now, this would be great with some, yeah, see, look at the little berries on top. This would be great with some cream or whipped cream or something like that on top. But let's just see. It's very eggy. It almost tastes like, oh, wow. It almost looks like a flan or a quiche. Wow. Okay, definitely smells some berries, and it is hot. Let's see what happens. Eggy. Eggy. Okay, while good and sweet, definitely on the eggy side, there's no cocoa powder or chocolate to sort of temper that egg flavor. But again, with some whipped cream on top, that would probably help disguise some of that egg. So I would, if you're craving some fruit cake, like a cake with fruit, not fruit cake, but a cake with fruit, that's a very good option. So for nutrition of this, if you're wondering, one of these servings is 344 calories, so a little on the higher than the other recipes. You've got 8.7 grams of total carbs. You've got 4.3 grams of fiber, which makes 4.4 grams of net carbs. You've got 12.1 grams of protein and 28.5 grams of total fat. So there you have it, folks. Low carb mug cakes. Can it be done? Yeah. Is it any better than it used to be? Yeah, kinda. Is it still a lot of work and getting out all the recipe? Yeah. Can it be worth it if you need to maintain portion size and craving control? Yeah, I do think so. So thank you guys for joining me. I say it every time. These videos are a way for me to maintain my low carb way of eating, and looking in the end of that camera as often as I can helps keep me honest. So I appreciate it, you for coming along on the journey. If you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I ask you to please follow me there. It's just Highfalutin Low Carb. I'll talk a little more frequently and a little more freely there. I would like to also thank again the sponsor of this video. Be sure to use the link down below in the video description below to get the great offer that they're offering you there. And lastly, I would like to thank my rock stars, my Patreon members. If you don't know what Patreon is, think of it as the tip jar for the internet. It allows people like you who enjoy what the people like me do here on YouTube and give $1 or $2 a month just to sort of keep the train on the tracks, as it were. You're going to see all their names starting to scroll. Actually, I think it's over here. So, all right, guys, I love you. I'll see you very soon. And remember, today is a great day to have a great day. Bye-bye.